We will learn how we can view data within the table and how we can load and export data. We will also see how we can create and edit views within the data and table, how we can add, update, delete data. And if you have any question, you can stop me at any time. So I really prefer to do a live demo while I'm explaining about any topic. It will be much easier for you and much easier for me to explain to you in more details and show you as a live demo. So let me open the browser now and let's see what we will learn today. Today we will do a different lab together, and all my examples actually it's from Microsoft Learn. I'm gonna share the link with you later on, but if you want to check it, you can go now to the meetup to our course today and just open the link that I added under references, and there's a link, just open it. So we will learn today like how we can view data in a table. We will start with different examples. So the first exercise that we will do it, how we can view a data in a table. So first, let me open the browser now and let us start by going to Power Apps. As we know, if I want to get an access to Dataverse, the first step that I need to do actually, I need to sign in to the Power Apps portal. And I already explained before that you can sign up within Power Apps for free for free as a beginner, and later on if you want to go in more details about the license, you can go there in Microsoft Documents and get a full picture about it. So first step, we need to go to Power Apps portal. And from there, we are able to see here something we call it Dataverse, which is the main topic that we will cover today and on upcoming sessions. From there, we have a tables. And on our previous sessions, we learned how we can create a tables. So if you don't have any idea how we can create a table within Dataverse, you can review our previous session on my YouTube channel. So on our previous session, actually, we create a table, we call it PC manufacturers. And as I mentioned before, there is two types or four types, sorry, of tables. And we covered on last session, we covered the custom and the standard table, which is here. You can read it from here. And what's the difference between two tables? We already covered on our previous session. Make sure to review all the session that we already have it before to make sure to get the full picture. So what we will do now, I have a table. How can I view the data that I have it within the table? The the easiest way, when you go to your Dataverse and once you go to tables, click on the table that you want to get more details about the data that you have it there. Once you click on it, you will be able to see like a columns and different things that we already covered. And here we are able to see the column. Like I have different type of columns, different things of column, and the like what we call it, what kind of data type for each column. So from there, what if I want to see how my data look like, or how can I view the data in my table? Within the columns, I will be able to add columns, remove columns, change the data type. It's like the same way that we have it on the SharePoint when you look at uh, the the list and how you can add the columns and to change it. If I want to view the data, I just need to go here under views and click on it. Once you click on it here, you will be able to see different view type. Like I have a PC find view. I have a different type of a view, for example, and it show you here what's the active and which one is not active. And for example, if I would like to check this one, let me click on it. From there, I will be able to see the view of my data. And here still I don't have anything. You can add, for example, under this view, I really would like to add the first column as a owner. And here I have a BC, I have a created on. From here, you can add more from your tables, from your columns that you have it in your tables. For example, I would like to add an owner, and I would like to add modified on it. It depends on what you want to see. So from a view here, you can add whatever you want to see in your tables and what kind of things that you want to see it. And once you build your application based on your Dataverse, you will be able to see a different columns based on the one that you selected from the view. So what we covered here, how we can view data in a table. First, we mentioned that we need to go to the Power Apps. We need to go to Dataverse. From table there, I can click on views, and there's a different views that available there. I can select the one that I want to work on it. This is the easiest way. Now let us move to the second exercise, and we will go in more details. Now the question, how can I create a new view? Now let me save it and let me go back. What if I don't want to use any view that we have it there? I would like to add a new one from scratch. How can I do this? Let me go back just a minute. Um, okay, here we go. Let me go back now to our main table, and from there we will create a new view. Just a minute. It will take time based on the connection. So after you save your review, actually you need to publish it if you want to go live with it. If not, you need to go back. But okay, now let me go back. Here we go. Okay, now what we will do, what if I want to create a new view? I don't want to use the one that I have it by default under my tables. From there, go to your tables, and the similar steps that we follow it before, I need to go to the table, which is BC manufacturer. Let me check if I have it here. Strange, where is it? I hope that I didn't delete it by default. Just a minute. Okay, let me try to search it. By default, it's moved. Anyway, we're gonna create a new one, a new table. Uh, now we get an error because of the environment. I need to select the correct environment. So that's why. Let me go here. This is my correct environment. Sometimes you need to be very careful while you are going to your Dataverse, or make sure to select the correct environment. So here we go. Now I can see my table. From there, I will click on it, and I will go to views again. And from there, similar to add a new column, there is an option add a view. I can call it, for example, a new. And if you have any description, you can add, then click on create. And now we will go to another page from scratch. There is nothing here. You just need to add the column that you want to add it to your review. It's something really easy. And if you are really expert on SharePoint list, you will be able to recognize, and you will be able to understand all this stuff very easily. So from there, you can add, for example, a new column created by, and so on, like ID number. And the most important things, once you finish, you can save it and publish it. Okay, this is the most important step that you need to follow. Let me go back. And now I have a question. What if I want to upload my data in a table? For example, here for PC manufacturers, I have already a data that I already save it on my Excel. So I have a template already built in on Excel, and I wanted to move all the data that I have it from my Excel into this table in Dataverse. How can I do this? First things that you need to be very careful, make sure the same column that you have it within your tables here, it will be the same thing that you have it in your Excel with the same order, because you will see why. I can show you why we need to have the same order of the columns, the same name of the columns, the same template. To make it much easier, you need to have the same template of the columns that you have it in your Excel to be within that table that you will move the data into. So how can I do this? Now I have an Excel on my desktop, and like let me open it. Just a minute. Let me open the Excel, and the Excel that I have it, actually it's um, similar format and similar template that I have it here. But the one that I have it on my desktop, it's an Excel, and I want to take whatever I have on my Excel as a data and add it to my PC. I don't want it to copy paste. I would like to load it there direct. So how can I do this? What kind of steps that I can do? Let me show you. The first step, I just need to make sure that I have the same order to check my data. It's the same columns, names, the same order. And let us add a view because here it's, I think I have only one row, which is test. I will add two different, just a minute. I will add test number 2 and I will add it here. Just a minute. You can add as much as you want, but I just wanted to show you that and save it. Once you save it now, maybe you have in your scenario, you have 50 items, more than 50 items. Now let me close it. Yeah, your question that we can copy and paste, but there is an easiest way that we can do, which is I will show it to you now. Now, let's assume that you have an Excel and you have a lot of data and it's really hard to copy and paste. Like you don't have 2 rows, maybe you have 100 rows and it's really hard to copy paste and add it. And sometimes once you copy and paste, you will get an error. So to avoid all these issues and all this error, what you can do within Dataverse, actually, there is a functionality that will help you to load your data into a table. For example, here, the PC manufacturers, the same format that I have it on my Excel. But I just wanted to load the data that I have it on my Excel to be within this table. This table, actually, there is no data. It's empty. So how can I do this? You can click here, and from there, you can see something we call it data. You have an option to export the data if you have a data, but in our scenario, how we can load the data into a table, you need to click on get data. And you have two options. You can click on get data, and I'm gonna show you what kind of or from where I can get my data. Not only Excel, you can get it from SharePoint, you can get it from different connectors or different data source. This is really a powerful functionality because it will save a lot of time for me, like rather copying and pasting and facing an issue. For example, if I have a SharePoint online list and I have a lot of records, it's really hard for me to copy and paste and add it. And to make it within a few click, I just need to go there, get data, click on the connector. So in my scenario, it's an Excel. I am gonna select an Excel and from there I can add it. And you can see here what kind of data source that you can add. Like you can, if you have you can see all categories, Power Platform, data flows if you have, online, other. So there is a lot of data based on your data source. For example, in our scenario, we will select Excel. And from there, I will upload the file. I have it on my OneDrive. But make sure to select the correct file, the same columns, the same format, which is this one, and select. After you select, click on Next. It will take few seconds based on the connection and based on the data that you have it. From here, you will be able to select the table. For me, it's a PC manufacturers, the one that I would like to add it to my table here. And I will click on Next. But let me check. Here we go. Now, I have an issue. The column here, it's not the header, right? All the name here, PC manufacturer, owner, ID number. Here I have a column 1, column 2. Actually, this one, it's not a row. It's supposed to be a header of my table. So how can I fix it? Let me click on Next. And we have a functionality here similar to the Power BI query, actually. Once I open this one, it's remind me with the Power BI query when we can edit our data before add it to our reports page. Similar thing. If you are familiar with Power BI, this page will be something really easy for you to deal with. And from here, I will select use first row as a headers. And from there, it's a Power Query. You can edit your data. Like if you have an issue with your data, if you want to change the the column type, if you want to do a lot of modification without going back to your Excel, to your SharePoint, to anything that you have it, you can just click on Next. You can do it from Power Query that you have it from your Dataverse, similar to the Power BI functionality that we have it. Then click on Next. Once you click on Next, whatever you are adding there and whatever you are uploading now, it's supposed to have it within your tables, within your Dataverse, as simple as. So now you don't need to worry about your data. You don't need to, you can just load it data into a table easily. And a new page will open for you after you click on next. You will be able to see here, like, do you want to load to a new table? Do you want to load it to an existing table that you have it? Or you don't want it to load the data at all? So it's up to you. Maybe you want to load to a new table. So based on your scenario. And from here, a primary name, you can select the primary name, a column, you can select like the column name. You can change from here, like, is it a multi-text? You can change the data type from here. Because here on our Power Query, we selected as a text. So that's why you have two options. Is it multi-line or is it only a text? And from there, you can click on next. And now you have two options. Either you can refresh your data manually or automatically. Manually, it means every time I need to refresh it by myself, or here you can put a schedule refresh. So let me make it manually and publish now or publish later. I will publish it now. I'm okay. So now we have a data here under PC manufacturers. This is how we can load a data. Now the question, what if I want the opposite way? I want to export the data. So I know that I create an application. The people, they start to load the data onto the Dataverse, and I would like to export the data into an Excel. You can check your data on Power BI, but what if I want to check the data as Excel? How can I do this? Similar things, you can click here, and from there, you can export the data in Excel, or you can click here and check. So for example, if I click export data in Excel, I will export the data to be as an Excel format. But if we click on the second one, export the data, let's see what will happen here. It's exporting your data. I think it will be similar. I didn't try the second one actually before, but I tried the first one, export to Excel, and it was exported to be as an Excel format. Whatever you are having from data within your table, it will be exported to be as an Excel. But now I think will be the same, but I'm not sure if will allow us to have it on different format. I'm not sure. So let's wait for a few seconds. So Dataverse, actually, when I heard about it at the beginning, I was like, is it easy to use? It's because it was something new. And once I start to work with it, it's something really easy. And there is a lot of functionality. There is a lot of things that better than using a SharePoint list. For me, I'm really big fan to a SharePoint, and I really like to use a SharePoint as my main data source for all my applications. But now, after I look to the Dataverse and what kind of things that we can do, and when you compare the limitation between SharePoint and Dataverse, I can share with you the link. You can see that you can use Dataverse in different things. So now we can export it actually. Let's see, let's download this one. I'm just curious that I want to see what kind of format that we can get it here. Okay, let's see. I think here they give us like an option to have it on different package or different format. The file size, it show me like 1 KB, but let me open it now with you and see. And somehow I cannot open it, but let's try it out. Just a minute, I'm trying this on other formats. So actually when I open it, it show me that it's only an Excel. Strange. I'm not sure why do we have, if they export it to be as a Excel, why do we have it as a twice? I'm not sure. I need to search more about it, but something really strange. I'm not sure. Okay, because here we go. It's exported. Once I click on it, it show me it's an, here we have it as a CSV. Okay. So that's the difference between the first one and second one. The first one, it was an Excel, but here it's CSV. Okay. And okay. Anyways, let us move to the second one. Now we know how to import the data, we know how to export the data, we know how to create a view from scratch and just add a column and something really easy to use. Now, for example, if you want to check more details, if you want to delete, I already covered it before, but what if I want to delete the tables? I can delete it, but if it's a standard table, you cannot do it. So what if I want to update or delete data in a table by using Excel? What can I do? So as we know, Microsoft Dataverse can help us to add, to update, to delete a data in a table by using even Excel that we have it. So the first step, what we can do, we need to go to the Power Apps portal from Dataverse. Similar thing, you need to select your table. And once you select your table, actually, you need to open, here we go. Let me show you. You can edit. And we have something here, we have it data. Here I don't have a records because I think this is the previous one. So, and also I think we need to active the view from here. Okay, just a minute. Inactive. Let me open this one. And we will back to our main topic, like how we can. Here, there is nothing because we don't have still the data. I think it's not loaded here, but let me go back and let me, there's something really strange here. I think switch to classic mode. Sometimes I can see the back button here, but sometimes I cannot see it. I don't know why, but strange actually. Okay, let me go back. And let's see how we can add the data or delete it from using Excel. What they mentioned on Microsoft Learn, actually, there is a way by going to the table and we just need to select the table that we want to add the data or delete the data or update the data. First, let me check, select the correct environment. And from there, let me go to the tables. I'm gonna select the PC manufacturers table. What they mentioned that we can select the table and from there is an option, I think, open in Excel or somewhere. I'm not sure if we have it here on in the setting, but we're supposed to have it somewhere. Just a minute. Here we go. Edit and data in Excel. So once you click edit data in Excel, you will have the functionality to edit the data from here. And once you download it, you can do it from there and you can publish it. But what I didn't try it before, but I think there's a way to add like the add-in or the add-ins within the Excel that will help you to publish your data from Excel. So whatever you are doing here, we're supposed to have like an option to publish the data, the updated one, to be reflected back to our PC manufacturers table in Dataverse. So I think we're supposed to add it somewhere here, but I need to check how we can do it there. Because here we have like a Power BI, right? We're supposed to have here Dataverse, but I'm not sure because this laptop, it's not my main laptop, but somewhere we're supposed to have like, there's a way to, similar to the Power BI here, like you can work on Power BI based on the data that you have it. We're supposed to have the Dataverse. Anyways, I'm gonna check more about this one and get back to you by next session to make sure, because to be honest, I didn't try it before. So let's see what kind of things that we can do. There is a lot of things I already mentioned at the beginning of our session, that if you want to create a data flow, there is a way to do it from here. And how you can do this actually, you remember when we go to the tables, and once we select the data from here, there is something we call it here get data. And once we click on get data, the first one, there is a lot of options there, right? So we have a SharePoint, we have a different things. So if you want to work with the data flow, there is a way here. You can work on it actually, and you can create the data flow from there. You just need to understand more about it. If you want to use the data flows, if you want to use a SharePoint, maybe API. So if you are interested to use the data flows from there, just to try it out after you log into Dataverse. And I'm gonna give you a link that will help you to follow the step that they have it there. And but let me share the link with you before I forget on the chat. So maybe you can start by working on the data flows. And even if you want to start with a blank table, you can blank query. So let me share the link with you, just a minute. There is a lot of exercise that's useful for you to work on it. And maybe it will be your homework to before joining the next session. Just a minute, let me copy the link. And here we go. And also, for me, actually, I will give myself a homework to start working on SharePoint online list within Dataverse and start to load my data from SharePoint. I have an application already built by using a SharePoint, the data source SharePoint list. And what I will do as a best practice for me to develop my skills with Dataverse, I can convert or I can import my data from SharePoint Online to Dataverse and change the data source on my application and see how it will look like. And on upcoming session, what I can do, I can share with you my experience on how I can load my data and show you the step that I followed, which is something really easy. But I'm gonna use the huge data and see how the performance of Dataverse will look like to test it out and see. Second exercise that what I will do and what I really suggest for you to do is start to build basic application on Power Apps, but connected to your first Dataverse table without any data, just as a blank, and to try to enter a data and save it there and see how it will look like. So on the upcoming session, today we learned like how we can view data, how we can check the views and edit the views if we have something really easy, how we can load it data into a table within a few click, how we can export data, and if you want to use a Power Query to edit your data, from where I can get an access. Also, on the upcoming session will be the last session for October. We have a question. Does everyone able to use Dataverse regardless of 365 version? I'm not sure actually. With the environment, for me, actually, I'm using the MVB environment, so that's why I'm not sure if you can use it with other license or other environment. I'm not sure. I think there is documentation that will help you to get more details about what kind of license that you can use. I'm gonna share it also with you, but let me check. So on the upcoming session, we will learn how we can define and create a business rules in Dataverse. You remember that when we mentioned that, for example, if I want to put a condition, if I want to put a manage rules in my Dataverse, how can I do this? Is there any way to do, which is yes, we can do it. I'm gonna show you now in a quick way from where, which is once you go to your table and once you click on it, there is something here, we call it business rules. And from there, you can add any new business rule from here. In our session, in upcoming session, we will learn more about it. We will start to add the business rules to our Dataverse and see how it will look like and how we can work on it and why do we need to add it or when we need to add it. So all these things we will cover it on the next Saturday on 30th of October. It will be 8 p.m. KSA time. I'm not sure. I think Houston time will be 12 p.m. So we will go through all these conditions. It's like conditions, how you can add a condition to your Dataverse, or what kind of things that we can add it, like a if condition, or what kind of things that we can add here. So we will go through it with more details. And if you want to practice, I'm gonna share with you the link that we will cover it and all the topic. Let me copy the link. You can go through it before the session. So do you have any question? If you have any question later on, just reach me out on my social media. The session will be posted on my YouTube. The purpose of all these session within the October actually was to learn the basic things about Dataverse, because on the upcoming month, my target is to learn more about Dataverse, to start adding like my Dataverse to be as my data source